Yes, you read that title correctly. Indeed, Aptera is expanding, and this is some exciting updates at this time. So what has been buzzing about Aptera recently has been its most current SEC filing, dated 3rd April 2024, and this document reveals some interesting details about Aptera's operations and future projections. Among the paragraphs of this 52-page document, we found proof that Aptera is taking its operations to another level and is expanding its reaches to new countries and even new partnerships. Hello and thanks for tuning in. Before we go any further, please take a moment to support us by liking this video. Subscribe and activate the bell notification feature so you'd always know when we put out new videos. And remember, sharing is caring. Okay, let's get back to it. So here we have the Security and Exchange Commission Form CA, our document filed by Aptera, which is supposed to cover a period until the 31st of December, 2023. And from the top of the document, the first thing I'd like to highlight here is Aptera begins by highlighting some of its key achievements so far. Since the inception in 2019, they have been able to achieve some key milestones, and one of them that I would like to point out here is they have been able to substantially complete production intent vehicles design, and they have established a network of suppliers for capital equipment and bill of materials. Now this is important because we are talking about a possible expansion scheme by Aptera. But anyways, Aptera then goes on to reveal a list of its key suppliers it has agreements with. And on this list, we can see companies like Chery New Energy Automobile Company Limited, or Chery for short, and what they call a technical services agreement to assist with feasibility studies and technical services related to certain vehicle components, as well as an agreement to license certain technology to be used in our vehicles. We have Laffey Propulsion Technologies, from which Aptera would be licensing certain proprietary technology and information relating to the design and production of electric in-wheel motors and related products and technology upon the purchase of up to 20,000 motors. What I want you to focus on is at the bottom here, where they speak of non-binding agreements with Yazaki, an engineering service supplier and line prototype and production part supplier, CPC Group, a specialized composite manufacturer, and CTNS, a battery production line supplier. So keep this in mind, and I'll bring it up later here. Before I land on the point, let me talk about Andromeda Interfaces, or AI for short. On April 1st, 2022, Aptera entered into a plan of merger with Andromeda Interfaces Incorporated, a California corporation. And upon completion of the AI plan of Megger, AI became a wholly owned subsidiary of Aptera. So this was an initial attempt to create a subsidiary of Aptera Motors. However, in April 2023, Aptera sold AI back to its original founders, and they gave us a sheet clearly indicating the financial implications of this dissolution. Basically, Aptera didn't really profit much from the resale of AI. So the merger and the sale wasn't an attempt to generate a few dollars to fund Aptera, but it seems it was a genuine attempt at a merger to create a subsidiary. I'm going to talk about subsidiaries in a bit and what could be the possible reasons for wanting a subsidiary so bad. Now this is where it gets interesting. Still on this page of the SEC filing, it states that in that same year of September 2023, Aptera established a subsidiary company called Aptera Motors Italia S.r.l., based in Modena, Italy. This is quite interesting because remember we talked about CPC Groups as an active partner with Aptera, and this very same CPC is also based in Modena, Italy. So what could Aptera be thinking, setting up a subsidiary company in the same Italy? From this document, we see that this is not a merger as Aptera did with Andromeda Interfaces back in 2022, but it's a separate company set up by Aptera. Now, I did some digging, and I was able to come up with this page right here, which shows the existence of a subsidiary company in Italy. So this is a website called Report Aziende. It's actually an Italian website and therefore is written in Italian. So I had to pull up Google Translate to get this to open up in English for you to see. At the top here, you see the company Aptera Motors Italia S.r.l. as an existing company, and it's interesting to see that this company describes itself as a manufacturer of motor vehicles, trailers, and semi-trailers. Given that we already know Aptera is a producer of solar electric vehicles as of the moment, and we currently await the production and delivery of its flagship SEV, this begs the question, is this subsidiary company a glimpse of Aptera's expansion goals and projections for the near future? We know the three-wheeled SUV is built for efficiency and peak range, but could we be seeing the advent of four-wheel vehicles and trailers being developed by Aptera? Is Aptera looking to set up an assembly plant in Modena? And what part will CPC have to play as a partner of Aptera in the same state and country? Admittedly, this is all a bit too sketchy, and there's not much details provided about this subsidiary company, about its shareholders and officers, as well as any existing contacts. But this opens us up to the possibility that Steve and Chris may have penned down a vision for the production of not only three-wheelers but four-wheel cars, and we could be looking at trailers and semi-trailers being incorporated into the grand scheme vision. There has been recent chatter concerning the possibility of a four-wheeled Aptera model. Video footage meant for investors has leaked showing Aptera Motors co-founders and co-CEOs Steve Fambro and Chris Anthony discussing many topics about the solar EV startup's future, including a potential IPO, and in that discussion, hinted to a possible four-wheel car. In the words of Aptera co-CEO Chris Anthony, "We would love to tie an IPO to our production start. Obviously, once we start delivering vehicles, we think we'll get a lot more notoriety, we'll get a lot more pre-orders. It seems like a natural fit that if we can tie an IPO to our production start, that kind of maximizes the benefit of everything. It gives us growth capital to launch into other variants of the three-wheeler and possibly four-wheel vehicles, part of a whole future plan to get us to 150,000 units per year. I believe we get to delve more into the IPO offering and what that could entail for Aptera, but I would like you to pay attention to Chris' allure to a four-wheel car. Therefore, it's possible Aptera set up the Modena subsidiary as a secondary company that would handle four-wheel cars for Aptera. Generally, companies seeking to expand often find solutions by forming subsidiaries. The high number of localized companies serves as evidence that they are widely used by businesses setting a foothold into new markets. While we're on the subject of subsidiaries, let's get a quick lesson. A subsidiary company is a separate legal entity that is majority owned by a parent company. It has its own board of directors and operates independently from its controller. The parent company maintains controlling interest over its subsidiaries and can be either wholly owned or partially owned. These smaller business entities are legally formed through mergers, acquisition, consolidation, or creation of special purpose entities to gain synergies by diversifying business activities. Now, the advantages of subsidiaries are endless, but one important benefit of establishing a subsidiary is it provides the parent firm with opportunities to enter markets and industries that would otherwise be out of its reach. With new international markets come new consumers and sales possibilities that allow the parent company to develop its brand in potentially lucrative locations. Companies that establish a subsidiary abroad are generally given more weight by local industries and governments than a branch of a company would be given. By setting up a local presence, companies can better understand the needs of customers in that market and tailor their products and services accordingly. Furthermore, there is better management of liability. If a corporation's subsidiary is involved in a legal battle, the liability lies with that subsidiary, ensuring protection for the parent company from any major financial penalties that may result. The parent company and subsidiary relationship is often viewed as similar to the relationship between a parent and child in that a parent isn't typically held legally responsible for the actions of the child. Now, Aptera isn't the first EV manufacturer to set up a subsidiary company. Tesla, for example, owns quite a few subsidiary companies. Tesla is still a young company, but its quick rise to the most valuable automaker has been aided by a number of major acquisitions, particularly in recent years. These acquisitions have largely attempted to increase manufacturing capacity, improve operational speed and efficiency, and save costs. Tesla now owns SolarCity Corp, a solar energy company acquired in November 2016 for $2.1 billion. Among others, Tesla also owns Maxwell Technologies Incorporated, an energy storage and power delivery products company, Groman Engineering, an automated manufacturing systems company, Perbix Machine Co. Inc., an automated manufacturing equipment company, just to name a few. So we can expect a degree of growth and speed expansion when Aptera does scale production and begin delivery. And who knows? Aptera's next car model could be a four-wheel car developed in Modena by this subsidiary. And that concludes today's video. Do let us know what you think about today's discussion in the comments section below. And you can support this channel by liking this video. Subscribe and activate the bell notification feature so you'd always know when we put out new content. And remember, sharing is caring. Take care and see you in the next video.